AI will not first change your life through spectacular machines. It will change the small moments you almost never notice. The blank message, the postponed appointment, the comparison before a purchase, the draft you do not know how to begin. More and more of those moments will arrive with a suggested first move, a reply, a route, a plan, a summary, a recommendation, a version of your next sentence. That can return time and make difficult beginnings less lonely. But when the first move becomes cheap, the last move becomes more valuable. The pause, the revision, the refusal, and the question you choose to ask next. Here are 10 ordinary places where AI may quietly rearrange daily life. First, the blank page becomes optional. An email can begin with a draft. A job application can begin with a structure. A lesson, meal plan, travel outline, or difficult reply can arrive before you have assembled the first sentence. For many people, this will feel like relief. Beginning is often the hardest part of ordinary work. But the blank page was never only an inconvenience. It was also where intention had to form. A polished reply can still be the wrong reply. Before asking for a draft, write one sentence in your own words. What does this person need from me? That sentence may be the most important thing you write. Second, search becomes a conversation. Instead of shaping the perfect query, opening 10 tabs, and comparing pages, you will increasingly ask a question in ordinary language and receive an answer that sounds ready to use. AI can make knowledge feel closer. It can help people enter subjects that once felt technical or intimidating. The hidden danger is not only a wrong answer, it is feeling finished too early. For questions that matter, ask 2 more questions. What assumptions are you making? And what would change this answer? The point is not distrust. It is to keep inquiry alive long enough for judgment to enter. Third, AI will change the invisible administration of life. Appointments, reminders, travel plans, forms, shopping lists, bills, messages, and the small errands that become urgent only because they were forgotten. An assistant can prepare these things before they become emergencies. That may feel like recovered bandwidth, but an assistant that finds an opening in your calendar may not know that the opening needs to remain empty. Protect 1 block of time each week as margin. Not time to improve, not time to catch up, just time that no recommendation is allowed to occupy without your permission. Fourth, learning becomes more responsive. A private tutor can explain the same idea in different ways. It can slow down, create practice questions, give examples, translate jargon, and wait without making you feel embarrassed. That can make learning more humane. But there is a difference between receiving an explanation and building understanding. Sometimes learning feels like confusion because the mind is rearranging something real. After receiving help, close the assistant. Explain the idea in your own words from memory. If you cannot do that yet, spend more time with the answer you already have. Fifth, everyday creation becomes direction plus revision. More people will begin with a visual, story, lesson, presentation, recipe, plan, or draft, rather than beginning from zero. The cost of starting will fall. Sixth, comparison becomes personalized. AI will simplify the search for the right route, product, service, recipe, repair. It will compare options in the time, money, and energy you actually have. This is useful because comparison is exhausting. But a system that learns what you usually choose may become less likely to show you something unfamiliar, inconvenient, or unexpectedly good. Ask for an option outside your normal preference. Try the slower route, the unfamiliar book, or repair instead of replacement. A good life needs some friction from the unexpected. Seventh, personal logistics become a shared system. Households carry invisible work: school messages, shopping, repairs, birthdays, appointments, bills, and the quiet knowledge of who has already remembered what. AI can make this work visible. It can coordinate lists and reduce repetition. But households are not projects. The danger is turning care into a system that measures completion while missing the feeling underneath it. Use AI to remove avoidable friction. Do not use it to turn relationships into performance dashboards. The goal is not a more efficient family. It is a household where fewer people have to carry everything alone. Eighth, difficult conversations get rehearsed first. People will use AI to prepare a boundary, an apology, a request, feedback, or the first sentence of a conversation they have been avoiding. Preparation can lower the cost of showing up, but rehearsal is not relationship. The real conversation still contains interruption, misunderstanding, emotion, silence, and the possibility that another person changes what you thought you wanted to say. Use a draft to prepare. Then speak in language you would actually use. If it cannot survive your own voice, it is not ready for the room. Ninth, ordinary decisions will increasingly arrive with a recommendation, not just information. A ranked set of options, a forecast, a summary of trade-offs, and a suggested next step. A recommendation can estimate cost, time, likelihood, and risk. It cannot decide which disappointment you are willing to accept. It cannot decide which principle matters more in this particular moment. Name the trade-off before you accept the recommendation. 10th, personal memory becomes searchable and editable. Notes, photographs, voice messages, old drafts, reading highlights, and previous decisions can become a usable personal archive. That may help you notice patterns, recover an old idea, or see how your thinking has changed. But memory is not only storage. It is also privacy, forgetting, revision, and meaning. Create a small rule for your own archive. Decide what you save, what you delete, what stays private, and what you never allow a tool to interpret for you. AI may make daily life faster, more responsive, and easier to begin. It may offer a first draft, a first answer, a first route, a first plan, a first comparison, and a first recommendation. The human task may become clearer, not smaller. Decide what matters before the recommendation arrives. Recognize when context changes the answer. Preserve time that cannot be optimized. Revise the plausible, and remain curious. The final question is yours to ask.